local hospital is paying taxes for the very first time. Carolina's hospital system becoming a for-profit business in February of 1995. Now they're turning over money to the city and county. Hospital Vice President Dick Tinsley handing over a check for more than $756,000 to the county treasurer and county chairman. Now, Carolina's is planning a major expansion on Pamplico Highway, and that's expected to bring even more money in taxes to the Florence area.
It's going to be a $90 million brand new hospital with some additional medical office buildings attached. We're really excited about it. Our target date for completion will be November of '98.
Tinsley says the hospital is really happy to turn over the check and pay their fair share.
Well, just how much milk do people need? Last week, the milk industry announcing a new campaign urging adults to drink 3 glasses of milk a day. But some people say they just don't need that much, and that's the story in tonight's Your Help. It's the new ad campaign.
Drink 3 glasses of milk a day. We need it, and we need it desperately.
But do people really need milk desperately?
We now know that after a year of age, milk is really not essential or absolutely necessary for someone to have in their diet. As a matter of fact, they can get along very well without it.
Dana Parnes-Katz says she does just fine without milk. In fact, she feels much better without it. She gave up dairy 7 years ago because she says it made her feel sick.
Oh, I felt horrible. I bloated and nauseous, and so I stopped, completely cut it out while I was pregnant, and have not eaten it since. And I've grown 2 healthy, very healthy, thriving children and raised them, and they've never had any dairy either.
So how does her family get calcium? From greens, soy cheeses, even sunflower seeds. Here are some foods that have about as much calcium as a glass of milk. You can eat 10 figs, or 8 sardines, or a cup of cooked collards. In many Asian cultures, they don't eat dairy products at all. They get calcium from foods like fish soups and cabbage, and some studies show that Asian women have less osteoporosis than women in Western countries. But the milk industry says most Americans don't eat a lot of fish soup or greens.
Dairy foods are wonderful. They're affordable, they're convenient, they're tasteful. It's an easy way to get the calcium that you need.
And no matter how you get it, Dave, the important thing is just get that calcium.
That's right.
Very important.
I'm sure Ed probably has his big glass of milk every morning with his breakfast, don't you, Ed?
Absolutely, especially when you're going to go work out and get ready for some cold weather as we head toward the weekend. Mighty chilly weather is definitely headed our way as we head toward Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll talk about that. Also have a fairly warm forecast for tomorrow. And would you believe, well, I won't even tell you yet. Wait till you see how cold it was in Canada last night. You will not believe it. Details coming up in just a few.
Ed, you want snow and you'd like to live there, right?
I love snow, but when you see these temperatures, forget it. Forget it.
Thanks. And don't you go away. There's plenty more coming up right after Ed's forecast.
A bit later, it wasn't quite a day off for students, but local students say it is the next best thing.
Did he write us up? Tell Todd thanks a lot, man. Not me. I'm not highly trained. All right, welcome back. Phone the neighbors, wake the kids. We actually cracked 50 degrees today, and believe it or not, we'll crack 60 in many areas tomorrow. Then the bottom's going to fall out. We may not get out of the 30s on Friday and Saturday for afternoon highs. This next polar air mass that's coming in, much colder than the last one and a much more direct hit for us. Details on that in just a second. First of all, let's recap today. Not bad at all out there. Lots of sunshine, just a few clouds moving in during the afternoon. We managed to make it to 50 everywhere. Myrtle Beach at 54 today. Conway and Loris up to 55 after starting out this morning in the 20s. Let's go to the PD region. Hey, really nice here as well. 56 everywhere with Mullins, the warm spot, up to 57 this afternoon. We began the day in the mid to upper 20s. On the border belt, this was the coldest location this morning. Lumberton at 23. Everyone else started the day at 24. with the exception of, well, everyone there except Lumberton. 56 this afternoon in Bennettsville and Dillon, while Laurinburg and Lumberton checked in at 54 and 55 respectively. Let's move on to live pinpoint weather. Everywhere, temperatures are in the upper 40s and lower 50s. Humidity values a lot higher than they were last night and many nights before tonight. Therefore, temperatures probably only going to fall into the mid-40s overnight. The winds are fairly light out of the east and southeast, bringing more moisture in off the Atlantic Ocean, and certainly more is on the way, and you'll see what I mean on the radar in just a second. First of all, though, let's take a look at another 5 units for you. Florence, Hartsville, Darlington, and Bennettsville just over the 50-degree mark now. Lumberton's down to 47, but the humidities are creeping up, and the winds are light, but increasing and coming around to the south later on tonight. Let's take a look at the radars. We are high and dry over the eastern Carolinas right now, but back out to the west, plenty of showers and even some thunderstorms embedded over the Tennessee Valley back toward the Gulf Coast states. This activity is moving eastward and will give us a pretty good shot of rain sometime after midnight and before noontime tomorrow. In fact, the rain should be moving out during the early morning hours. Let's take a look at the national satellite picture in motion now. System number 1 is moving rapidly across the country. This is the one that will give us the precipitation. Notice a streak of clouds right in through here. This is our polar cold front, which is heading southward, and it's got a tremendous amount of cold air with it. Instead heading due south, this one is heading south and east and will give us some pretty cold weather. Let's break down the next 2 days for you. Tomorrow, the first front makes it into the coastal areas of the Carolinas tomorrow morning. Just a few showers around, then clearing up with sunshine as we head toward the afternoon. Here comes the polar front moving through on Thursday night and very early Friday morning. Many areas, plenty of sunshine, but windy and cold. Our high temperatures on Friday only up to about 40 with wind chill factors in the teens and 20s. Right now, that polar air mass is now coming into the northern high plains where temperatures are well down in the single digits, 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 13 in Minneapolis. It's not going into Texas this time. It's coming for the southeastern United States. This is the Siberian Express. This cold air originated over Russia, Siberia, Russia, came across the North Pole, came through Canada last night. Get a load of these temperatures. How cold it was last night with the wind. It felt like it was more than 100 degrees below normal in northern Canada. No wonder why our friends from Canada come visit us here. 20, 30 degrees at night doesn't sound bad at all compared to all this mess. Can't even imagine that. Forecast now for the rest of this night. Well, mostly cloudy skies, especially later on. Showers after midnight with perhaps a few thunderstorms. The overnight lows down to 45. Tomorrow, expect, well, some showers in the morning hours and increasing amounts of sunshine. Our high temperature should get close to 60. Here's your 5-day forecast. Windy and cold on Friday, up to 40. Not out of the 30s on Saturday. We're back near 40 on Sunday. It will be dry. No snow in the forecast. Overnight lows very close to 20. Allison and Dave, when you have wind chills of 106 below zero, your skin freezes in 5 seconds when you step outside.
Really? What happens then?
Well, you just, I guess you don't live very long. I would venture to guess anyway.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Don't want to experience it, yes.
Absolutely not.
Thanks.
All right, thanks a lot.
Well, sports is straight ahead. An upcoming golf tournament in Myrtle Beach will look a little bit like the NFL is here. Terry will fill us in.
And the Tigers take their number 3 ranking on the road for a big test against ACC rival Maryland. That's coming up next.